Today, the defense introduced another statement allegedly made by Longwe Twala, one of the people who was inside the Kelly Khumalo's house on the night Senzo Meyiwa was murdered. But instead of helping the state's case, the defense argued that Longwe's own description of the first intruder actually contradicts what Brigadier Gininda previously told the court. The exchange became even more dramatic when accused number 3 accused the senior police officer of coming to court to tell lies. Let's watch exactly what happened.
And then the second one, my lord, that I would also quickly want to hand in as an exhibit. I'll prepare copies for the court, although they are marked, but the marking is not bad. The second one, which is dated the 6th of November 2014, will then be marked ZZZ15.
Lesike statement esikalo esatha ngomhla zi-6 kuNovember unyaka inombolo zaso kuzoba uZZ.
Just to complete the mosaic, Mr. Ncube, the paragraph on the statement don't seem to be marked. It's just a continuous flow of a story without paragraph. However, on the second page of the statement, on the last paragraph on that page, this is what is contained. I just want to hear.
Soya ke kule ngcenye noma isigaba esithize kusitata sibhalwa isigaba ukuthi isigaba bani paragraph 26. Ngizokufundela ke ngithanda ngoba.
Remember, we're still dealing with the identity of the traitor who had a firearm costed the families on the date of.
Sesilapha lapho othize owayenesibha aso ezange kumalunga nothize.
The Khumalo. Now, this is what, and you would recall that the massive evidence that is before court is to the effect that Longe was one of, I'm saying you would recall that massive evidence that is before court is that Longe was one of the people who was in the house when this whole thing.
This is important because earlier the court dealt with whether Longe's statements were even admissible. Now, the defense officially begins relying on one of those statements. Notice what Mnisi is doing. He's narrowing everyone's attention to just one issue, the identity of the first intruder. That is the foundation of the defense argument. Let's play.
Nabo kunye akushilo ke ngaphezulu ngaphakathi kokunye akushilo. Angizofunda sonke statement kodwa ke ngizogcina nje kuphela kuluka akushilo maqondana nabenzi bobubi.
Thank you. He says Kelly was standing and telling joke, and we were all sitting down listening to her.
Uqalela wayefunda lapho ukuthi uKelly wayemile ekhuluma ishaya ijoke ethize and sonke sasihlezi phansi angasingufunda.
Yes.
Sonke sasihlezi phansi. uKelly wayemile enza ijoke noma ishaya elithize and sonke sasihlezi phansi.
And then
silalele.
It proceeds. Bagla door was wide opened and the door was half opened.
And umnyango webhakla wavuleka wonke ngokupheleleyo noma bese kuthi ke isicapha sona ngokwaso sasivuleka uhalf.
I noticed two guys getting inside the house.
Ngabona abalisa ababili bengena phakathi endlini.
The one who came first was short, dark, having dreadlocks, with cheekbones, wearing a jacket between khaki or light brown in brackets beach jackets.
Owangena kuqala phakathi wayethanda ukuthi akabe mnyama noma abensundu kakhulu ngebala kanti wayena dreads phecelezi ama dreadlocks futhi ke wayena mishathi engathi ithanda ukuthi igame ama cheekbones wayegqoke futhi noma wayembethe ibhanji elithanda ukuthi alibe khaki noma ngalibiza ngokuthi li light brown noma beige.
I cannot remember his other clothing.
Angisakhumbuli ke ezinye izembatho zakhe.
Immediately the tall one followed.
Masishane kwalandela lona uthanda ukuba mude.
He was wearing a black hoodie.
Wayegqoke ihoodie
but
emnyama
but light in complexion. That is all I remember about him.
Kodwa yena wayekhanya ngokwebala. Yiloko ke ngikhumbulayo ngaye.
The tall one went to Kelly and the other one in brackets short one was following that tall one.
Pay close attention to those details because they became the center of the dispute. According to the statement read in court, the first intruder was short, dark in complexion, had dreadlocks, prominent cheekbones, and wore a khaki or light brown jacket. Ncube is about to compare every one of those characteristics with Ncube himself.
Now, With regards to the description of the perpetrators, Longwe says that the one who came first was short, was dark, had dreadlocks, had cheekbones, he was wearing a jacket between khaki or light brown, and he can't remember his other clothing.
Maqondana nokuchazwa ke kwabenzi bobubi uLonga uthi oqala wangena kuqala wayemfushane emnyama enama-dreads uthi ke amathambo wakhe umhlathi athanda ukuthi agqame kanti ke uthi wayegqoka ibhantshi elikhakhi noma light brown libhey uthi akasakhumbuli.
Now, Brigadier Kininda told this court description that were given by the people who were in the house of, let us start with the first suspect, matches you. Hence, he said, you are the one who has been described by the suspect, which is on the basis of what happened here. What is yours?
Manje ke ubrigadier uthi ke incazelo yabasole lena yokuqala kahle kahle empeleni matcha wethu echazwe ngilabo kuyona.
Hayi mina ukubona kwami lokho kubhalela lapha.
In my view, what is written, it's not in accordance with what was said by police.
Lesitame sichaza ngosobala ukuthi umuntu wayekhona.
Ubanichaza ngokusobala.
Statement.
This statement mentions clearly that this person who was in the house saw a dark person.
Mina ngekho mnyama.
I am not dark.
So lokho kubhalela lapha nje kahle kahle akhambisana lokho wakho.
So what is actually written here, it's not in accordance with what Kininda said in court.
Ngoba ngisho ijacket engigqokile awucabangela ukuyibona ikhakhi leyami awucabangeli.
Because even the jacket that I was wearing, you don't have to assume how it is. You can see it is khaki.
Kanti futhi mina zange ngiziqhoko.
I never had cheekbones since ever I existed.
Ngisho ithombe nginazo eminyakeni. Asekho nesisodwa.
I even have photos for past years. There's no one, not a single one where
Nginjena nje ngoba nginjela ikho.
I am just like this. As you can see, that's how I am in life.
Now notice how Mncube doesn't simply deny being the person described. Instead, he attacks the physical description himself. His argument is straightforward. If Longa described a dark-skinned man with prominent cheekbones, then that description cannot refer to him. Whether the court ultimately agrees is another matter, but this is clearly the defense strategy.
So umuntu akenzi iphutha manibhekile uyabona straight light in context lo.
So when a person looks at me, does not make any mistake. A person can see that this person is light in complexion.
So lokho akuhlangani washo.
So this is not in line with what Kininda said.
So, what are you saying that, Mr. Mncube? Do I have to understand, and does this court have to understand you that Mr. Kininda made a mistake when you said that the description, which one of them is this that we've read into record, as it was given by the people who were in the house, matches you?
Uthini ke mnumzana Mncube ngabe usho ukuthi ke ubaba Kininda wenze iphutha uma athi lencazelo ngifundele yona la kule record uma athi yena empeleni kahle kahle ifanela wena wenze iphutha.
Objection, my lord. My lord, we are busy with examination, but my colleague is leading the witness, my lord. Those questions are leading, and we are busy with examination in chief. Mr. Court.
Indeed, my lord. We're busy with examination in chief. I am clarifying with the witness as to how should we then understand his answer to be to the question that I posed to him. That's just clarification, which is part of leading of a witness.
This objection is actually very common in court. The prosecution argues that Mnisi is leading his own witness. In other words, they are saying he's suggesting the answer instead of allowing the witness to answer naturally. Mnisi disagrees. He tells Judge Rata he's merely asking Mncube to clarify what he means. The judge allows the questioning to continue.
As it please the court, my lord. Thank you. You may proceed to answer, sir.
Ungaphendula ke ungaqhubeka uphendule ugcine kubuza kona.
You still remember my question?
Usakhumbula umbuzo wakhe ugcina?
Thank you.
Hayi lokho Kininda wakwenza kubona ngoba wangibona mina ukuthi ngilight.
Kininda did what he did, seeing me that I'm light in complexion.
So hayi ukuthi wenza iphutha.
Not that he made a mistake.
Weza nje la icourt ukuthi azotshela icourt amanga.
He came to court to tell lies to the court.
Ngoba lokho kubhaliwe la akusikho lokho kakhulu.
Because what's written here, it's not what he told the court.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mncube.
Ambonge Mncube.
My lord, I realize that it's almost 11:15. I would.
He came to court to tell lies. This should play uninterrupted. Don't interrupt this moment. That is the headline moment from today's proceedings. Notice exactly what Mncube says. He doesn't simply accuse Brigadier Kininda of making an honest mistake. He goes much further and alleges that Kininda deliberately misled the court. That is a serious allegation. At this stage, however, it remains Mncube's version of events. The court will ultimately have to assess all the evidence, including Longwethwala's statements, Brigadier Gidinda's testimony, and any future witnesses, before deciding what weight to give to each version. Today's proceedings shows why this trial remains so closely watched. The defense is attempting to use Longwe's own words to challenge Gidinda's identification evidence. Whether that strategy succeeds will depend on how the court evaluates the reliability of both statements and the testimony already heard. Do you think Longwethwala's description creates reasonable doubt about the identification of the first intruder? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoy balanced courtroom analysis based on what is actually said in court, subscribe to the Hot Seat SA, and I'll continue bringing you important development in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. This is the Hot Seat SA.
Welcome to the fire where the stakes ignite, where the questions burn hotter than the night. No escape once you're locked in the heat. This is your trial on the hot seat.